Hello, you beautiful, beautiful women. I wonder if you know what this transmission is going to bring into your being. I have been moving with the serpent and really bringing in a lot of these self-love, self-remembrance, self-worth, self-belief frequencies from a very delicate and divine feminine mastery space. Of course, there are many layers to your being, to my being, and that means that as the remembrance comes in, it may come in themes, it may come in little pockets of color or light or movement or breath or sound frequencies or perceptions, right? Just, using our senses, but our multidimensional senses. The Egyptians, ancient Egyptians that are masters of all kinds of technology, including body technology and sound technology. They said that we actually used to have 360 senses. And now humanity is down to 5. And it's so perfect. The card that flew out while I was speaking is the tree of life. She's hugging the olive tree. I brought the olive tree front and center, and I, gave the aloe vera plant a little break because I knew we were working with the tree. I knew we were working with the spine. I knew we were working with Magdalene, because a lot of this knowledge that's inside of you and I, it comes from many, many, many other lifetimes of mastery. And I will probably say this another 10, another 20 times while we are gathering, while we know each other, while we go deeper and deeper in our connections with each other, especially if you women eventually come and meet me in the world and join some of the amazing serpent offerings that I will be having next year in person, on the land, with the trees, with the crystals, with the waters. But yes, we are in a portal right now, and it is a feminine flow. It is a serpentine flow. It is a portal of aligning with our self-mastery through self-love, through self-worth, through self-belief. And that means that we really, 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 we have to take care. We have to take care of our heart. We have to move our body and do the practices that are going to permit and they're going to invite the spaciousness into our entire system. The spaciousness of our lunar and our solar energies merging and being the dance of the serpent inside of us, being the energy of divine masculine, divine feminine, above, below, man, woman, because we've been all of these things. We've been men in other lifetimes. We've been women in other lifetimes. We've been higher dimensional beings. We've been beings of the earth, inner waters, core of Gaia, this planet. We've been dragons, we've been serpents, we've been masters, we've been peasants, It's really that dance between polarity. But because this is a spinal alignment, because this is the month and the frequency of the dragon spine upgrading us, it doesn't matter when you're tuning into this later on. These are the codes that are alive right now in real time as I'm filming this, and they are transcending time as they reach you in the divine moment that you receive this. But this is the dragon spinal alignment cycle. This is the dragon spinal alignment month. And today's dragon spine gets to be activated by love. It gets to be activated by ecstasy, by peace, by bliss, by connection. And always, always, always the option by the serpent. So let's take some breaths here. Let's get into a little bit of a serpentine movement practice. If you're feeling really connected to your waters, you are welcome to be in that frequency of like moving with the water serpent energy. Magdalene, as a teacher, as a guide, as a divine Syrian ally of mine from the constellation of Sirius, the trinary star system of Sirius, as many masters come through this gate, this portal. She holds water codes that are very, very strongly felt in us as women, in our wombs, and in the waters of earth. So that means in the rivers, in the waters that we drink, the spring water, the mountain water, the rain water, and in the oceans and seas, which connect us more to our expansive water energy. Like, think of it like going on an adventure, taking a boat and sailing the seas to new land, to new destined places for us to become, unbecome, and become. And what she's offering today is just frequency, right? Each and every one of you is going to experience her differently, but she's here. Mariam, Mariamne, Maria, Magdal, Magdalena. These are all names for the beautiful star being who incarnated on earth in the lands of Palestine. And she really is holding today the frequency of the olive tree for us, which is beautiful because I have been working with the tree energy this month, and you will have been feeling these different tree energies. We had a very masculine inspired eucalyptus, like divine masculine tree energy in a different transmission. So this is more of a feminine, ancient mother, ancient, peaceful, frequentially feminine tree energy. And if you can see in the image here, not only is she like gently caressing the trunk of the tree, she's connected. Her senses, right? The sense of touch, like if I outstretch my hand, then I give. And if the tree wants to give, then I receive in this hand as well. And her eyes are closed, so there's this utter sense of surrender, an utter sense of surrender into the feminine ways, into the feminine waters, and also the feminine fire. Because the trees become the fire. The wood becomes the fire for us to keep warm in the colder months, to create alchemy, to make cacao, to remember that we are always invited to dance with our polar frequencies, water and fire, air and earth, and everything else that exists in this polar realm. So I'd like to take a couple of moments here. I already have my eyes closed, so feel free to join me in an easeful rock or a sway. Again, if you're feeling more watery, then let your waters, let your womb, let your serpents guide the movement of your body. But just know that nothing has to be forceful. Everything can just be like you're rocking on a boat. Magdalene is very familiar with traveling by boat from Egypt to Palestine, from Palestine to Greece, from beautiful France to Crete, or Crete to France, and Cyprus and England. These are some of the places she is said to have traveled by the waters, by the ocean, by the seas. That's why she's often associated with blessing the travelers, blessing the brave, those that are willing to change and shift and become more elevated versions of themselves. So we're going to start to feel this remembrance in our body by either serpentining, making little circles from our coccyx and spiraling up rhythmically with the breath. Or some of us may just want to sway like the waves of the ocean, forward and back, forward and back, and follow the breath. Fill your lungs with life force. Feel and fill your lungs with Kundalini. Nothing forced. It's absolutely a clear channel today in this portal where it's just like sipping through a straw. And what is in your chalice or your root rises up that channel, that straw, with ease and grace through Magdalene and her dragon, Magdalena, up into all of our other chakras. Let's do that again, and this time when you bring the energy up, we're actually going to let the energy kind of culminate in the heart. Some of you may have been taking your breaths all the way up to the crown, maybe some of you to the throat. Intuitively, your body knows where that energy wanted to go, but on this one, we're going to actually bring it to our heart. And we're going to hold our breath there for as long as is humanly or Syrian possible for us. So let's blow out all the air out of our lungs right now, out loud. And when you're ready, take a deep inhale through the nose. Visualizing the energy up to your heart, and then hold your breath here and watch and feel and perceive the light codes entering your heart chamber, your heart realm, your sphere, golden with a rose tint, rose gold. Some of you might have a little bit of ruby or garnet coloring in there as well. Hold your breath here. Squeeze your sexual organs. Let the life force expand your dragon heart with Magdalena. If you need to breathe at all, just let out a little bit of air and inhale again and hold. Keep holding, everybody. I know this might be weird. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's wonderful. Hold your breath. Feel the heart expanding. Maybe you even can start to perceive your wings in the back, in the high heart area of your back. Maybe your shoulder blades automatically want to start kind of moving closer to each other. You're still holding your breath. For 5 more seconds. 5, 3, 1. Blow out all of the air easefully. And inhale really deeply all the way to your crown, your life force. All the way to your crown and beyond that lotus. Higher, spiral the energy up, up, up. Watch the light travel. Watch the codes of your beautiful serpent spine and your electric, sexual, and sensual and God-given energy. Your serpent energy, your human energy, your divinity. Watch it meet the cosmos, the masters, the Ma collective, Isis, Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, Kali Ma, Ma Sekhmet, all of the masters, Maria Magdalena. They are feeling our Venusian ray of light reach the heavens, and then come back down to land and earth, to settle in like the pink waters, the pink lakes and lagoons of the planet, the pink oceans, the pink sands, the crystalline pink waters that you know because you are divinely that and so much more. The Venusian ray today is coming down for us to remember more of our godly, divine feminine tint. It really is that rose gold. It really is that rose quartz. It is the color of the most beautiful pink sunset that you have ever seen. The color of a bright pink mermaid tail. Or the color of my lips today. So with that Venusian ray traveling down our spine, we can offer her beautiful sister, Gaia Pachamama, or Madre Tierra, or Terra Mater, as the card says here. Telepathy of Terra Mater. We can offer that to the mother because she needs her connection to her higher allies. She desires that connection to always be charged and channeled and worked with by the divine sisters and brothers who know how to balance their frequencies, who know how to work with the serpent, who know how to love the serpent, who haven't demonized it, who have transmuted their cycles of shame, their cycles of guilt. Like, can I really be powerful and sexual and sexually active, in my own ways, in my own life, with my dreams and my visions, as well as with another, right? That's where things can get messy because we have had these programs of guilt and shame about sharing ourselves, about fully opening our heart to meld with another for a time, for a purpose, right? It's time to realize and it's time to remember. It's really a remembering that sexuality, that love, that intercourse itself. I actually love that word. Why don't we use that word more? Sacred sex, and also the word intercourse. Even the word course is very serpentine, right? The river courses, right? The water courses through the land and creates and gives life to things. So intercourse to me means it's inside. I had to do a little quick Google search because I was like, does it mean within? And here it says inter as a prefix. It means between, among, in the midst, reciprocal, located between, or occurring between. So this is where the rivers meet. This is where the waters meet in our sexuality, in our comfort and our ease to flow and express ourselves with another, with a mirror, with another master. Because if we're embodying the Magdalene, the divine feminine, then they would be our counterpart, Yeshua. They would be embodying the other fish, right? And Magdalene and Yeshua are always kind of leaving hints for us and leaving clues for us in the real language and the real texts which are actually in a light language called Aramaic, which was a spoken language during the time of Christ, Yeshua, Magdalene, Mother Mary. And the closest language to Aramaic right now isn't necessarily Hebrew. If I'm not mistaken, there's more similarity between Suf language or ancient Egyptian language. So Hebrew has already kind of diverted a little bit, and so has Arabic in some sense, from what codes Aramaic held at that time and why it was so important to vibrate and to vocalize a language that was encoded with the future. So there are teachings, I have dove into them a little bit, dabbled, let's say, right? But a lot of it has come in as remembrance when I started listening to music in Aramaic, or when I myself chanted the Lord's Prayer, which is, it doesn't do justice to what that prayer is. It's also known as the Our Father, but it doesn't mean that in Aramaic. It means so much more than that. So Aramaic is actually an ancient future technology, an ancient future language. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because Magdalene wants you to know this. Mother Mary wants you to know this. Our planet and Venus want you to know that you have the technology in you right now to reactivate the Aramaic coding, the Aramaic tongue, which I'm also getting is very connected to the divine serpent, like a white serpent or a white cosmic serpent. Maybe you will appreciate that lately I have been working a lot with the energy of the Amazon, the anaconda being the biggest serpent that we know of on this planet, and she courses through the largest river that exists on the planet that crosses all of South America. So the Amazon as a prime location for serpent tongue to actually still be alive, and all of the people that live along the rivers, the different courses of the Amazon itself, the Amazon River, they have kept up with light language. They have kept up with the communication with the cosmic serpent, particularly because they live it every day with the serpent in the waters, but also because they were chosen. They were chosen to keep people in connection with serpent energy. There are other places in the world that also carry these codes, similar codes. Egypt is one of them. In the Americas, in North America, in certain lands where the snake is very honored, respected, the venom is worked with actually as medicine in different tribes or locations in North America. These are the spaces and the places where the serpent is still alive and well, and subtly and not subtly influencing us and helping us to remember who we are. But it's interesting because with all of this serpentine spinal alignment right now in the field, the Magdalene piece has always been connected for me to every part of the world that holds a sacred feminine, like a sacred feminine key or a sacred feminine crystalline code. So I'm actually going to use this crystal, which is garnet. And you can imagine it as a very deep red blood seed. Ruby, which I'm wearing here, is also another really strong Magdalene stone or divine feminine stone. So what I want you to tap into here is, where intuitively does Magdalene, Magdalena, the divine feminine, the red queen, Isis, Mother Mary, Kali, where do these crystalline seeds, where do they live in the earth for you? Where have you known them? Where have you known your own mastery of this energy, of this life force, of this Shakti, and this communion with your cosmic serpent? And let's make sure we keep breathing here as we start to feel more of these pieces, as we start to receive in our cells, in our beautiful waters, in our blood. If you have anything that you're drinking, I had some suggestions earlier, just make sure to take a few sips right now. Let's crystallize that energy with either water or tea or cacao intuitively. A few more breaths here, and again, movement. If you need movement, maybe a little rocking. I'm really feeling this Venusian serpent traveling through the network of the cosmic serpent. So now close your eyes and just see if you can visualize what's being lit up on the grid as like a serpent streaming down into the planet with these white cosmic coloring and codes shimmering, and also the pink Venusian or pink gold or rose gold serpents streaming down into the earth. And now take your awareness or your heart, your dragons, and really visualize and see where is this place for you, or places for you, because this is going to be a huge indication of where your grid work month is going to be focused, or where your life force and your blessing of the earth is going to actualize and crystallize. And some of you are actually physically going to go to these places in this decade. So if you've had a prayer, if you've had a vision, I'm hearing India for some of you, I'm hearing like Bangladesh, Tibet. Some of you it is the Amazon. Some of you it's the Irish, Celtic, Scottish lands. Some of you it is the Americas, a lot of places where there's beautiful red rocks and red earth, and a lot of medicine, right? Some people call them psychedelics, we'll call it medicine, that is waiting for you to align and know them. Not necessarily to physically partake in them, but to know them through their spirit, through their communities that work with them diligently, that harvest these medicines. Poison as well, venom is coming up. So this is very interesting for those of you that are going to feel called to a part of the world where they work with serpent venom. This is very interesting. I'm excited to learn from you when you've mastered this piece. South America, definitely the Amazon, definitely the Red Rivers. In Peru, the Shambuyaku, which I have big prayers for. If it's not that land, it's definitely for the Amazon River, and aligning with bringing a group of women to serpentine on the land with medicine, with serpent medicine, with our joining forces and recoding any misalignment or any distortion in that beautiful balance of divine masculine, divine feminine that we are so carefully weaving and recalibrating right now. If you still have your eyes closed, you can slowly start to blink them open, but I know that many of you receive something big right now. Like, I just have the biggest open heart to to amplify this prayer. It's so beautiful. Ooh. The holy lands, I didn't mention that, but some of you will be called to denser areas, maybe more challenging areas in the Middle East, maybe more liberated areas in the Middle East that you haven't been fully able to be this serpentine, this dragon woman yet, and this rosa dracaina, this Venusian rose gold cosmic serpent woman, and the world is ready. The year of the serpent next year, 2025, is gonna be huge for us. So I'm just so honored to be here with you, and I'm gonna dry my eyes and then continue sharing the energies and the pieces with you and just see how we want to flow, because this is a lot of frequency beyond my words, beyond me guiding you, beyond me just opening a portal and saying feel and receive the pieces and the gems for you. What I truly, truly desire is for you to understand that you are doing this because you said yes to this before I ever recorded this. And because as I work with the serpent and the cosmic serpent and my own activated self and serpents, this is how we've all magnetized, you know, and brought through this for the waters space, which is only going to grow, which is only going to expand into all of your creations, all of your offerings, all of your heart and soul and belly birthings. Hey, once again, I am here with a continuation of this transmission. You may have seen the little intermission where I really wanted to bring in more of the feel of what is inspiring this unfolding with the serpentine, spinal, feminine, red and Venusian and pink and gold and white serpent energy today. And I decided to put on my anaconda bones, which this is the vertebrae of the anaconda snake serpent of the Amazon. And this particular connection is my connection to Peru, my connection to the medicine that is known as the mother, the grandmother, and the great serpent herself, ayahuasca. So what I'm seeing here with the threads is that what's coming through is purely me. It's an amalgamation, it's rich tapestries of so many different parts of the world, of so many threads and stories where the feminine or the mother or the grandmother or the river, the stream of the divine feminine or of this planet herself, her streams, her waterways, her womb space, her heart space, where they are all meeting us in this moment so that we can truly calibrate to a higher heart frequency, which is the pink energy, which is the energy of like the most delicious feminine flower cocktail that has no alcohol in it. It's literally just drips and drops of nectar, of life force, of amrita, you know, that truly juicy energy that is emitted from us when we are in ecstasy, when we are in bliss, when we are intercoursing with our beloved, and of course union takes place and everything is exchanged and everything is electrified and activated to anchor onto this planet more possibilities for our own personal journeys, for our own personal choices that they're no longer dictated by society, they're no longer dictated by the way things were or the way our mothers or our grandmothers or our sisters or our friends believed that our sexuality or our feminine energy should be expressed, should be lived. The way our life is going to unfold from this point forward is out of this world. It's much more Venusian, it's much more New Earth, Terra Mater 2.0 or 22.22.0. You know, there's a portal open right here and right now through the plants, through the alignments, for us to really tune into hibiscus and the blossoms from my peach tree and pink geranium, which I have been blessing with so much cacao that she has exploded and become this just this essence and this force in the garden that is so delicate and so feminine and so powerful, because geranium is directly connected to the heart. Geranium leaves, I was shown, and I was taking geranium leaves as a tea in Guatemala in the year of 2019 actually. And then I brought a bunch of that tea back with me through Mexico and then eventually to California, and I was really working on my heart with the geranium leaf. I wasn't even that connected to geranium as a flower then. I was just always open and seeking for medicine that would address something that I was going through. And what I was going through in 2019 was heartbreak. It was about a year that I had ended my last relationship, and I just kept seeking the heart medicine, the heart medicine, the heart medicine. Eventually taking me to Peru in the following year, the year of 2020. January 2020 actually being the catalyst year for my serpent remembrance, not because I was still heartbroken, but because it was a combination of I was heart open again, but mostly for my own divine inner union. I wanted to marry myself with my higher self. I wanted to marry myself with my cosmic self. And that is something that is so beautiful about the dragon work and the work with cacao, specifically IXCACAO, because she has showed me how to create alchemy with flowers, with plants, with essential oils, with spices, with herbs, with the colors that we wear and the totems that we hold and the codes that we carry literally in our name, in the sounds that our body wants to make naturally when we just sit and hum with cacao, like the sound, like it's so delicious, and it's the same of like ma, right? It's the M of Magdalene, it's the M of Maria, it's the M of the ma, the mother. It's the M of me also, like the individual, me. And that M sound wants to be made by you right now, by bringing your hands to your heart and literally just being with yourself and seeing what it could feel like to drink in your own essence, marry yourself, your human self, with your divine, cosmic, dragon, serpent self. And so you might actually make that sound in your throat and really let it vibrate. As many times make that as it feels good. Knowing that the flowers here are witnessing you, they're also listening and they're providing support, especially the divine rose. All of these flowers are from my garden, are from my beautiful little fairy realm here that I've been cultivating. Except for the hibiscus, that's from a neighbor, but it wanted to be here today. And just know that these flowers are transmitting codes of self-esteem and self-love from a dragon lens. Like the type of love for the self and the type of worth for the self that a dragon needs is exponential to what a human could need. The dragon needs to have enough love for themselves that it poureth over, that it floweth over and out like the Amazon flows out into nearly all of South America, an entire continent. That is how the dragon is here to love on this planet. Are you getting that? Are you feeling that inside? It's the biggest love for big, big soul beings to incarnate here on this planet and to choose not to live a superficial, ego-driven life. Now, we may all have a chapter in our book where we were living a little bit of that. But that's not where the story ends for us. The story must continue. The journey must continue. The dance must continue. And the flow must continue because you have beautiful things to weave on this planet. Now, I am getting the message to share this with you. It's called The Guardian. And the reason I want to share this with you in particular is because as we move into deeper love for the self, we still may have challenges of others not wanting to see us fall madly in love with ourself. And as we're cultivating that chi and that goodness and that juiciness, and we're working with the earth and Venus, and like we're in this divine, caliber of frequency, there's still a little possibility for people to want to monopolize that, abuse that, right? Plug into you because you have all the charge, because you have all the energy, because you have all the life force. So this is just be on guard, meaning keep your thorns, right? The rose has her thorns. Keep your leaves. Keep the stem being the spine, keep it strong, keep it tall, keep this watered, water, water, water your beloved allies, water your life, water your reality, color your reality with the things that will help you stabilize this energy, because there will come a point where this is no longer going to be so much of a battle, right? He has the sword. It's been a battle before. That's not where we are now. It's really about stabilize this now so that you can do your sacred work, so that you can be part of the 144 or the 144,000 that in some cases they may be the dragons. 144 or 144,000 dragons on this planet, incarnated as humans, male and female humans that need to come into divine union, most likely with each other. Although I'm not going to speak for everyone and say that your partner has to be dragon like you, but for the most part, that is a message that's coming through right now. So knowing also when to step up your frequency and trust that if a relationship must come to its end, its natural ending, that's okay, because the beloved is here. The beloved is in you, and the beloved will be reflected outside precisely in a moment that they need to be. So this says, awake in the dream, embrace new possibilities. And this is Magdalene and Yeshua, very much in that Syrian, like all the blue, like in space with the stars above, and perhaps they're actually dreaming the dream on Sirius before they decide where they're going to touch down in this life. Just like you or, me or any of the other serpent or dragon sisters in this container that also made a stopover in Sirius. Be empowered by these pieces. If they resonate with you, stand even taller. Hold your rose and hold that stem if you can. And take a few breaths here and make sure your spine is long, because you are destined to calibrate and stabilize this energy by the time this container is through. For some of you, it's by the time this video is over, which is so powerful, because I'm like, damn, look at the women, look at the magnificent beings that have been brought into this space, that we can just will, right? We can just will this to be because it's in alignment, because you are in alignment. Okay, beloveds, I would love to share a few crystals that are going to be very, very supportive and honoring for this calibration that you might want to purchase, or you might want to call into your meditation space etherically. The first is pink tourmaline, even watermelon tourmaline. So watermelon tourmaline has a little bit of green in it. So does this one, but this one is pink tourmaline. So it's like baby pink. Very, very supportive for cultivating the heart chakra, and specifically the high heart chakra. Creational stone ally, argonite. Argonite, yeah. Yeah, argonite has these little like bursts of energy kind of coming out of its little origin point, like the cluster energy is almost like yeah, like an explosion of your creative energy into many different places, many different spaces. It means you're gonna have influence, you're gonna have an effect with what you create. You're gonna reach people, right? It's not the type of energy that just implodes, right, and stays inside. It's the type of energy that you are going to create things that reach, that have such value and such divinity that they need to be seen and received and felt by others. So, argonite. Next, obviously, rose quartz, and if you can find it in a serpent form, then hallelujah, yes, this is new to my beautiful collection of crystals, and I've been working deeply with this particular serpent totem because my other cobra is in Guatemala. It's been there for 2 years in my suitcase, and the cobra's been coming back as a very, very strong connection to Egypt, to Isis, again, to all of my encoding from Sirius. It's very, very cobra-esque. So rose quartz, you know, it's the juiciest, it's the most delicate, the most heartwarming, and also sensual, and also romantic frequency of like romancing yourself and eventually romancing others with the rose quartz energy that you will just emanate from your aura. So this is going to be an important crystal. Garnet, I've already mentioned. Ruby, I've already mentioned. So garnet and ruby really holding similar codes. I would say ruby is a little bit more crown. Garnet is a little bit more root chakra, but they both hold beautiful Venusian, beautiful divine feminine, beautiful Magdalene or Isis or Sekhmet, red and earthy, and red and cosmic, or pink and cosmic, or pink and earthy. You may have seen in the serpentine kind of flow that I was showing you this crystal here that is septarian, and I love this crystal again because it's connected to the serpent. Here's another septarian I have to show you. It's usually found in these kind of green and brown kind of serpent tones, but every now and then you could find interesting geometry and shapes in a septarian piece or a septarian egg. This is technically an egg, but it's a little bit flat. But it really represents to me union. It really represents to me what I'm always working towards, and that is the union with myself. That is the union within. So I love that reminder of like, I am whole, and I'm also like pieces, and I'm also whole, and I work with that. I trust in the process. I trust that if I break open, you know, and there's things to work through, I'm whole, so I can always just bring it back. I can bring it back and stabilize and know that something has shifted, that I have grown, that things are no longer as they were before doing that work, before making that realization, or having a specific ceremony or connection, or even a play, you know, like a connection with a male or a connection with somebody that feels like it was a piece to help you remember what a sacred being you are, and that to exchange energy with you is a gift. So hopefully all of these pieces help you and I. They help us grow. We don't actually stay in any frequency of attachment or fear of losing or pain, because we know what it's like to love and then have that love move on, or have us move on, and of course feel that separation and feel that connection shift into something else. And then you may have seen me doing this little kind of play with this crystal here, and this is actually Shiva Lingam. So right in the name we have like a very kind of beautiful energy of masculinity with Shiva in the name, and Lingam meaning like, you know, the male member. But these are stones that are formed in the river. The shape of these stones is formed by the waters, and they come from a specific river region in India, if I'm not mistaken. And the Shiva Lingam is a divine union stone. It is a stone, a crystal, an ally for aligning with your own journey and your own encoding to love, your own encoding to meeting your counterpart, or up-leveling the relationship that is divine to you that you are currently in. And Shiva Lingam is very playful. It's very, very, it gets the libido up. It gets two when I said that. It gets the libido up for the beloved and also for yourself. Especially if you're working with the serpent yourself and he's working with his, you know, like serpent, spine, and dragon energy, then Shiva Lingam is going to be a beautiful like union stone for cosmic lovemaking. I should definitely package this later to men also and just like edit this piece for men, because they're going to be really turned on by the crystals and by what I just spoke, because I'm turned on by it. I'm like excited for where you're going to go with all of this information and all of this remembrance, because again, I'm just letting it pass through me, passing it on, so that we can light up this world with love, as it should have always been, as it will be very, very, very real very soon. Couple of other things I want to mention. In the realms of fruit, we have the pomegranate, which is very connected to not only Magdalene, but many divine goddesses and Greek also mythology. I believe it's connected to Persephone in the Greek mythology, but it's connected to Magdalene in the Gnostic mysteries. And it really represents this energy of like a crowned jewel, a juicy, sensuous, beautiful, divine feminine, like you want to eat her energy. I've been working with not only Granada as a frequency, so this is the pomegranate. In Spanish it's called Granada. I'm also very familiar with Granada in Spain, where I've lived, and the Americas and Central and South America, and also Africa. So Morocco, these pomegranates grow a lot in North Africa and Egypt and places like this. So I wanted to actually show you and bring a little magic into the space, because my pomegranate tree in the backyard is actually giving its last fruit. Like, I picked these today right before I started recording, and these are the last of them. They've been blossoming. I mean, they've been on the tree. The tree's been fruiting for about maybe 4 months or so, maybe more, maybe 6. And it's kind of at the end of that cycle. Here I actually wanted to show you that there's actually a V right there in the pomegranate. So V for Venus. And yeah, we're gonna do a little ritual with the juice right now. So if you were able to get a pomegranate, then I would love for you to get your pomegranate and your bowl and a couple of the flowers that you want to bless with the energy of the mysteries of the blood and the mysteries of the feminine through the pomegranate seeds and the juice. So I'll just show you in my bowl. I have this little flower that I picked from a neighbor, this little geranium that's from my garden. And I'm going to add the rose, which is also growing right next to the pomegranate tree in the backyard. So they're definitely connected. You can take your rose off of the stem now and just either have it whole in your bowl, or maybe if you feel to take the petals off and just have them loose in the bowl, that's an option too. I'm going to add the hibiscus and also the blossoms from the peach tree. And you should be adding your flowers into your bowl and getting ready to invoke into your beautiful pomegranate fruit. For this magical ritual, what I would love for you to do is take the pomegranate, open pomegranate in your hand, and actually squeeze the juice all over your beautiful array of flowers. And there's no rush. I want you to really feel the frequency of the transferring of the juices from the seeds onto these beautiful emanations of the feminine, of the goddess. Remember, some of these flowers are truly like portals that remind us of the feminine yoni, of worlds upon worlds upon worlds that the divine masculine can dive into. So it's like seeding the yoni, or seeding with the juice, with the life force of the divine masculine into the divine feminine, into the divine feminine. And you can actually chant something. I'm going to play some music here. Just follow along intuitively with the music. Take your time. Then you can touch the different flowers and the juice on the flowers and create a sigil. And I'll guide you at that piece as well. Create a sigil on one or over or in your rose, however it feels good for you. I'll explain what a sigil is also in the PDF if you don't happen to know what a sigil is. So follow the beautiful music and connect to your heart, and know that this is a divine union ritual. And it's extremely powerful. I've never done this before, but it feels like I've done this my whole life, because I'm so sure about what is about to take place for all of us. And When you're ready to create your sigil, you can do it above, kind of in the air. So a sigil is like a magic symbol that is unique to your own soul remembrance. It is encoded with something that you would like to bring forth into this reality. And you may not have ever received a sigil for union. You may receive it just as you make the intention in your heart for this union to manifest in the most divine way. And again, the union within, which inevitably brings the union without, or the amplification or the next level to the union that you're already traversing, swimming, coursing your waters with somebody else. So just know that the only thing you have to do is maybe take a moment here, authentically connect to your beautiful dragon heart and ask for the sigil. What is the sigil for divine union for you? And trace that above or on. You could touch the flowers and the juice and the seeds, and know that afterwards you can bathe with this. You can add this to the bathtub and soak in that ritual magic that you've just created. So take your time here, beautiful ones. This is really powerful.
From my eyes, breathe my ancient fragrance, anointing earth and sky, anointing earth and sky. I am the rose of Sharon, lily of the valleys. I am she who breathes the dawn, fair as moon, clear as sun, fair as moon, clear as sun. My beloved is in the garden, gather honey and lilies. I rise up to meet my groom, hands dripping with myrrh, hands dripping with myrrh.
You might want to smell your roses afterward. Breathe in all of this goodness, all of this magic, the Venusian codes, the Venusian remembrance, the Magdalene codex, the Isis codex, the Mother Mary codex. You are fully activated in this 3-3 portal of a Venusian flavor. And it is my honor, it will continue to be my honor to do this work with you. Please continue the frequencies into your day and your week and your month, and know that the journey home to self-love and self-worth it's a beautiful journey, because we don't just arrive here by magic. We work and we crack open to get to this place. And I want to share one tone with you because I think it's for all of us. I was trying to see, is it just for me? Is it for everybody? It's the Red River in Peru. that I started reconnecting with Magdalene while I was bleeding and coming to the closure of I think it was a 7-day medicine retreat, an astrology retreat, plants and planets retreat. And we were working with the cacti, which is known as the grandfather. It's also known as a very phallic kind of high-rising cactus that is called Wachuma, and the Wachuma spirit is also very, very deeply woven into my being from communing that first time and also a second time later on in the mountains in another part of Peru. But the first part of the journey started at the Amazon, where the highlands, the mountains meet the river. Meet the jungle, where the highlands, like more mountain, meets the jungle. So it's a very unique place to experience ayahuasca. It's like almost the marriage of the serpent and the dragon. It's like the divine union of above and below, where it all meets right here within, inside. And I remember specifically at this river, I was healing my heart, and I was bleeding, and I was connecting with my pleasure and my vitality. And I remember I was bleeding, so I actually had blood on my hands, you know, much like I have the pomegranate juice right now. I had blood on my hands, my own blood. And I remember in the journey that I was creating a spiral on the rock that I was laying on top of the river. And I didn't, the rock was completely dry and my blood was red. So there was a spiral drawn in my blood that you could see on the rock for at least a couple of days until, the waters would wash it away. But the river is called Shambuyaku, and it means the red river, if I'm not mistaken. This is what I remember from our beautiful sister who guided the retreat and brought in more of the feminine Venusian energy to the retreat. Shambuyaku as a sound code wants to be shared with you as a piece of the Amazon, as a piece of a much larger unfoldment with Venus and with our bloodlines being purified by the waters of this planet and by our own alignments with our epic soul and stellar selves, and especially with our dragon tribe in this community. So if you want to sing to the Red River, I will write here Shambu Yaku as a sound code. And the sh is always serpentine, right? The S, the sh, like Shekinah, remember? Shekinah, Sha, Shambu Yaku, Shambu Yaku, Shambu Yaku. Now it's a little more like pleasure, like ecstasy. Shambu Yaku, Yaku, like Yaku Mama, which is the serpent, which is the anaconda, Yaku Mama. So there is both Shambuyaku, Yaku Mama, Shekinah. These are tones that you may want to continue to see what your connections are to them, especially when they vibrate in your own heart, in your own throat, in your own divine Magdalene vessel. I love you. Thank you for experiencing this with me. It was extremely special. I feel like I just could cry and cry from joy and recognition, like soul recognition of who you are and why I'm here and why you're here and why we're connected.